Peace to the gods. Listen, y'all. I have a thought for today, right? So this thought just entered my mind as I arose this morning, and was just laying in my bed thinking about loyalty. The word loyalty. The word loyalty the etymology of the word loyalty comes from a French word around the 1500s, which essentially means allegiance, allied, locked together. So loyalty means that there's a bond, that we are bonded together, almost like this. This is loyalty. This means I got you, you got me. That's loyalty. It also can be defined as intertwined, right? So it's locked together. It's almost like a braid. You know how we got them locks? That's what loyalty is like the locks on your head, right? It's intertwined. It ain't going nowhere. I got you, you got me. And today I just wanted to let you know that loyalty also has an expiration date. I remember I was growing my locks. Let me give you a quick story. You know, I like to give you stories. I was growing my locks for years when I met my wife. And my locks were about down to here. They had got down here to my back, about right here. And so she just kept asking me, baby, would you just cut your hair? I just want to see how you look with a haircut. And, you know, because I kept my locks fresh. You know, I kept my locks fresh. I'm a little wilder now than I used to be, but I kept my locks fresh. And so one day I surprised her. I went and I got my hair cut. Oh, my goodness. I was watching my locks just fall off, and I was like, oh, my God. But I did it for her, right? I didn't even do it for myself. I did it for her. And this is the funny part of the story. So I went to pick her up, and it was her and Trinity. And when I picked them up, she got in the truck. I got a fresh haircut, fresh tape up, everything. She doesn't even notice it. And Trinity gets in the car and say, oh, my God. She was about maybe 10 or something at the time. Did you cut your hair? Maybe like 7. She might have been young. Did you cut your hair? And that's when my wife looked at it and was like, oh, my God, you cut your locks off. Oh, my God. Da, 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 da. You know, all that stuff, right? So I've never grown my locks back. But as you can see, I've been growing my hair, and I'm considering growing my locks back. But that's not the part of the story of everything I wanted to share with you. I just wanted to share with you that I had locks, then I cut them off. Because sometimes your loyalty has an expiration date. Anytime that you are not being reciprocated the same love, loyalty that you give, you have to begin to stop, survey the situation, that relationship, you know what I'm saying, that job, that investment. You have to survey it. And if it's not giving you the return that it promised that it would, that it sold itself on, or that you agreed upon, then you have to cut that off. One of my best friends in the world, and I love this guy to life because he knows me and I know him. His name is Antoine Smith. I love this guy. We're loyal to this. Nothing can ever separate us but life itself in this life. That's my dog. And I mean DAWG, that's my dog. And I love him to life. I don't have to question his loyalty. He's already proven it. I've proven it to him. We don't have to ever have those conversations. We are brothers. Even though we got different mothers, we are brothers. But there are some relationships in your life that you have to question. There are some agreements that you have in your life that you have to question. There are some allegiances in your life that you have to question. And when you're not receiving the return or the reward from that relationship, then you have to give that relationship an expiration date. It's no different than milk, meat, eggs, anything else, right? If food is not benefiting you, right? If it's not beneficial to you, then you have to throw that food away because it has expired, right? So you can't eat that because it would do something inside of your system. And what I'm telling you is that some relationships that's not being reciprocated back the loyalty to you, if it takes you out of character, if it makes you want to slap the hell out of somebody and you already done been to jail or you never been to jail and you don't want to go, you have to start questioning that relationship, because a relationship loyalty should cause you to ascend, not descend. I'm going to say that again. Loyalty should cause you to ascend to your highest apex, not descend to your lowest state of being. And so therefore, you have to understand that, you know what, if it's making me feel this way, this vibration that I'm feeling, this frequency that's causing me to get out of my character, to make you want to do something, or to cause you to question who you are because they're not being loyal, then you have to sever that relationship. I remember reading about a brother. He had some type of fungus on his foot. As a matter of fact, I don't know all the situation in particular, but I'll share this with you. And I don't know none of the details, but Dion Sanders was sharing his story, right? Everybody know who Dion is, prime time. One of the baddest NFL players to ever live. Cornerback, shut down the baddest cornerback ever, right? Also played some receiver, punt returner, kick returner, the whole nine. So in other words, he used his feet, right, to get to everywhere he going. But recently, he just revealed and allowed us to take a peek inside of his world that he had to have either one or two of his toes cut off. And I think it was one of his big toes, which means that he can't do all the things he used to do. Listen to me. He can't do all the things. He can't run like he used to run. He can't high step. Y'all remember when Dion would score a touchdown, he would high step all the way into the end zone. He had to cut those particular toes off because they were doing something to his body. And I'm using that as a drastic illustration. But there are sometimes you have to sever something that's connected to you so it will not be infectious to other parts of your body. And what am I talking about? No, most of the time you're not going to get infected mentally where you just catch your arms fall off or you have to have limbs cut off from a relationship. But you can be infected, not just affected. You can be infected in your mentality by that relationship. Why? Because they cussing all the time and they going at it, they raising their voice. So now you feel like you got to act that same way, but that's not who you are anymore, right? Or they told you they were going to do something and then they stopped doing it. So now you feel some type of way about it. So it can infect you as well as affect you. So you have to make sure that when you see this taking place in that relationship, that you sever the cancerous part of that relationship. And sometimes that means cutting the whole individual or individuals off, because I do believe this, and I don't subscribe to everything I see on TV and social media, right? Because I know that, like Malcolm X said, that question most of what you hear, none of what you hear. Don't believe most of what you hear and half of what you see. So I'm paraphrasing. That's what the ancestor Malcolm X said. So when I see things on TV like stage, they were at the Oscars, Hollywood, it's a bunch of actors, all of that. But what I can subscribe to is what Denzel said to him, supposedly. He said that the higher you go, right, different levels, different devils, that's when the enemy comes for you. And so every time there's an elevation, oftentimes there has to be a separation. And that's sad, but it is what it is. Oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes, you felt this before. You got a little bit of money, you got a better job, you open a business, you started making money, And now niggas just hating on you because you finally can live the way you want to live, or buy the things you wanted to buy, or do the things you've always wanted to do because you came up in poverty and now you just trying to live your life, you know what I'm saying, living your best life, like my brother Duval say. And so now they starting to hate on you just because you getting a little. You don't even have a whole piece of the pie. You don't even have the recipe, but you finally got a little piece of the pie, right? And you're experiencing this extreme hate, right? You've been through it. We've all been through it. And so it's important that you realize oftentimes you can't take everybody with you. And there's some people that you love. There's some people that you want to take with you. There's some people that you love and you adore. And you say, man, you know what? I would do anything in the world for them. There's some people, and some of those people you can take, but I promise you this, you can't take everybody with you. And I'll give you a better example. Aaliyah, everybody know the singer Aaliyah. She shot her last videos, I believe it was in the Bahamas or Jamaica, one of the two. And she died, unfortunately, in a plane crash. And what they said was, after they did the investigation, they said that the plane had too much luggage on it. So it caused the plane to descend. Because even planes have a certain weight capacity that it can take with them. Y'all ain't feeling me. No matter how high the plane can go, it has a certain weight capacity that it has to sustain in order for it to ascend to where it's supposed to be. And if it's over that weight, it's going to slow it down. It can even crash and cause you destruction. So listen, man, I ain't trying to preach. Y'all know I know how to do that. I did that for a lot of years. But now I just sit back and I survey things. And I'm so proud of myself because I've come a long way. I remember my dad used to cry. He used to say, boy, things I used to do, I just can't do no more. And I would hear him, but you know, when you 20, 30, even sometimes in your early 40s, that really don't stick with you as well. But I'm learning how to adjust to loyalty. Because there are things, anybody know me. I've done it in church. I've done it in the streets. I've done it in relationships. Nigga, I keep that thing on me everywhere I go. So I ain't never scared. I'm like Bone Crusher. I ain't never scared, right? I'm never scared, but I'm also not destructive. So I use it for protection, not to bully or do anything else. But there's some times when you know they trying you and you go, ooh, boy, I just put that. But I've changed. And so what am I saying to you? I'm saying that you know you have ascended to that highest apex when you can go through whatever it is that you're going through in a relationship and it doesn't cause you to be who you used to be or cause you to do something that's destructive. You can move on and move up. Y'all remember that? Joseph, remember I talked about that last live. Just because he moved up, he was able to move on. He didn't have to dog out Potiphar's wife who lied on him, who treated him like he wasn't bringing something to the table, like he wasn't causing their business to flourish, like he wasn't who he was, but he was accused of something that only because she didn't get what she wanted. But he did the time, even though he didn't do the crime. And I'm telling you right now that some of us been doing some time, even though we can't understand it. We didn't do the crime. We didn't do nothing to cause this. We've been loyal. We've been faithful. We've done everything we supposed to do. You didn't do the crime. You did the time, but you didn't do the crime. And watch this. That's why you're about to take off. Listen, I'm talking to somebody right now, including myself, that you're about to take off right now like never before. Because you did the time, even though you didn't do the crime. They can't lie. They can lie on you, but nobody's going to believe them because you remain calm. You kept your integrity. You kept your character. You didn't lose your cool. So they can't even blame it on you. You ever been, listen, I've been melanated my whole life. So, and even though I'm a lighter version of melanin, it's still melanin. And so there's sometimes you go in places, right? I remember walking in what it was, a depart. I'm not gonna name out the department store, even though they did me wrong. Belk's. I was in Belk's, and the people was just following me around. I actually owned a salon in the mall, right? And Regency Square Mall, and I went to Belk's because I would go shopping there all the time, right? I owned a salon in the mall. And the ladies it was two ladies. One was Asian and one was Caucasian. And they was following me around everywhere I went. So I asked them, I said, is there a reason why you following me around? And they was like, no. There's no reason. I mean, I said, well, when I'm ready for you to help me, I'll let you know. I know how to shop on my own, right? So when I tell you they flipped the script on me, and made it as if I was being belligerent and ignorant and loud, and I did none of that. It was like, hold on, sir, calm down. And I said, calm down. I am calm. My voice was monotone. I was chill, and they was getting loud, like, sir, please calm down. And I said, oh, they trying to get me riled up so that they can use that against me. You didn't hear what I said? Because when the police, that's me, I hit the thing. It's so good that that the alarms went off. Look at my pulpit shouting. Sometimes people try to use your strengths against you. Oh my goodness. They'll try to flip the script so they want you to act the fool so they can say, oh, see, that's why you can't do this, or that's why I didn't do this for them, or that's why. But I'm telling you this, if you keep your cool, if you stay calm, cool, and collective, like I did in Belt, I said, ma'am, I'm good. I appreciate you, and I'll let you know exactly when I'm ready to get something. And so what I did was, really just to fuck with them, I went and spent like $800. Just because I didn't really want to spend $800, but I did it just to show them. And so sometimes you have to stay on point, keep your cool, so you can just show them, So you can show them, start your own team, start your own business, start your own new relationship. Sometimes you have to show them because they don't even know who you are. They didn't know who they was bonded to. They didn't even know who they was intertwined with. They didn't even know that your DNA causes everybody around them and you to ascend. So what I want to tell you is, loyalty has an expiration date, but the one person you have to always be loyal to is yourself. And when you feel those vibrations starting to change, when you see that it's coming off